Is Brawl Stars going global or is it going to get killed? Well, some crazy things just happened, and I'm going to give you guys some inside information that you're not going to see anywhere else on the future of Brawl Stars. Let's do it. Hey everyone, what's happening? Lex back today for another Brawl Stars video, and today we're going to do a little bit of speculation, but there's also going to be some information here. Like I said, you're not going to hear this anywhere else, except for maybe Kairos' channel. I don't know if he's going to be sharing this as well, but there were some things that, some conversations that we had with Ryan when we were in Finland, and I don't even know if I should be sharing all this, to be quite honest, but I think at this point, it's kind of a do or die kind of thing, so I think we're going to be okay, I hope. So, all right, let's preface this all by saying that this is speculation. I do not know the end result of all this with any certainty whatsoever. Now, many of you have asked me to share my thoughts on this picture that Brawl Stars posted on their Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, on their social media. Now, if you didn't see the picture, it'll just be on the screen right here. It's basically 5 brawlers and a sunset or sunrise, depending on how you want to look at it. Now, some people have made some videos kind of guessing on what it may mean. Some people think that it's like a 5v5 game mode is what it's hinting at, which I might have believed if what just happened didn't happen, but it did, and I'm going to get to that. But some other people have said, okay, well, this means the global's coming because they're walking towards us and it's a sunrise. And other people think that, no, the game's getting killed because they're walking away and there's a sunset and, that's basically their way of waving goodbye. All are viable, possibilities, but with what just happened, I'm not quite so sure anymore. Now, you're asking what just happened. Well, just here in the past hour or two, depending on when this video goes up, Brawl Stars has deleted everything from their social media. Nothing on Twitter, nothing on Facebook, nothing on Instagram. It's all gone. It's gone. There's nothing there. That's a very peculiar thing to do, which FYI is a weird word to say, peculiar. Anyway, I find that extremely worrying, to say the least. Again, another reason why I've been kind of not touching on this topic is because, honestly, I've been getting kind of a sick feeling in my stomach, like, oh my gosh, what is happening? I've been trying to get some information from my contacts over at Supercell, and I have gotten nothing back. So there's really nothing left to do but to speculate, right? So let me put a case out there for the game getting killed. It's probably not what you want to hear, but the simple fact is that there's a lot of things that are pointing towards that. Okay, first of all, the picture. It's rather an ominous picture, if you look at it that way. Like, 5 brawlers, basically the sun is setting on them and they're waving goodbye like, see you later. That in itself is like pretty worrisome, but there's some other things. Now, again, I don't know if I should share all this stuff, but I think that I'm gonna go ahead just because, we're kind of at that point, because why not, right? First thing is that when Kairos and I were in Finland, we were talking to Ryan, and at that point they were still not sure whether that the game was gonna go global or not. I will say this, that they absolutely had a plan in place. They knew what they were going to do if they were going to be killing the game. Now, maybe that's just good planning. Perhaps it is. But to me, that's scary. I've put 18 months into this game, right? I've been covering this game since day 1 of the soft launch. And I put a lot of work into this, and I really love Brawl. I love Brawl Stars. It's such a great game. Let me say that again. I love Brawl Stars, and I truly hope that it goes global and everything is going to be swell. But, sometimes things don't quite work out the way we want them to, right? So we've at least got to prepare for all the possible eventualities of what's happening right now. So, like I said, we talked to Ryan, and they still weren't sure on whether the game was going to go global or not. This next one, I'm not really sure, again, if I should say this or not, but when we were filming the last Brawl Talk, me, Kairos, Trickshot, and Ryan, during the Brawl Talk, Ryan absolutely, said that they were going to make a decision and announce whether the game was going to go global or get killed before the end of this year. Now, that could very well go either way, right? So that could be a case for it going global. Maybe this is the decision they've made. However, deleting all your social media, that doesn't quite jibe with me. That just is like, what? But he did say that their decision was going to be made before the end of this year. However, they cut it from the video. It did not end up making it to the final thing that you all saw. Saul. Could I sound any more hick? But yeah, so that part was cut in editing. He also told us that Brawl Stars just wasn't quite living up to the same sort of metrics that Clash Royale was. And they were, even after the landscape update, when things really improved, and also in, like launching towards like the Asian markets, things were getting way better. Retention was staying good, everything was good. But even with that, Clash Royale had set such a high mark that Brawl Stars just couldn't reach it. And they didn't quite know what to do with that, right? They want to get it up there, and maybe in time it will, if it does indeed make it to global. But when we talked to him, he was like, yeah, the metrics just are not as good as Clash Royale. It's just a hard, fast, that is what it is. And I don't guess that that's necessarily a horrible thing. It's definitely not a good thing, but it's not necessarily the game is doomed kind of thing, because not all games are created the same, not all, appeal to the same markets. And I do know that MOBAs definitely fare way better in the Asian markets than they do in the Americas. So, that's one thing, but that is something to at least keep in the back of your mind when you're, trying to consider all of this. Also, and this is something that not very many people are talking about, but I find it particularly worrisome, and that is that currently right now in China, there is a freeze on all new games coming into the market. So like if you wanted to make a game right now and put it out on the App Store in China, you cannot. There are no new games being released right now. There's a complete freeze. Like every company, from the biggest companies, which is like Tencent, who is the parent company of Supercell, down to the little guy, they're all in the same boat. They cannot release anything new. They just cannot. And this is costing like millions and millions of dollars. You'll see a little news article here rolling across that kind of, goes over that. And feel free to Google, China game freeze, and you'll see tons of articles on it. It's a problem right now. And so if I'm putting some things together, this picture that was rather ominous, the fact that they still weren't sure if that global was going to happen when we were there, the fact that it was Ryan saying that they were going to make a decision on global, and he said it very, enthusiastically, like, yeah, it's going to happen, not necessarily going to happen, but to me it felt encouraging. I don't know, maybe that's just the way I took it, maybe that's not the way he meant it, but that was cut from the video. Also that, the Brawl Stars metrics aren't lining up, and the freeze in China, to me, if you put those all together, it's like a big ball of, oh crap, man. After all of that, and then now they've deleted everything on social media, I'm a little worried. Let's just say that I'm a little worried. Not all hope is lost, but perhaps they're planning something bigger, but maybe it is just a big update, but I don't know anything about it. I have no idea what they've got planned, like for updates and whatnot. I don't know. I don't know what they've got planned. So that's one side of the story. Because they've deleted all their social media, I don't think that they're teasing at a 5v5. I think if it was a tease at a 5v5, they would just put it out there, and then they would probably let us know information and or get us the dev build. We'd record stuff, we'd put it out to you guys, and everything would be great. You guys would have a new game mode, which, by the way, 5v5, yes please, that would be awesome. Please make it happen, if the game doesn't get killed. But yeah, so I don't think it's a 5v5, especially after what just happened today. I don't think that's a possibility, at least not for this image. That's what it means. I don't think that's happening. Now, we can make a case for global as well, right? Perhaps the image that they showed was indeed like brawlers walking, and then the sun is rising. They're like, yeah, it's a new day. Here we are. Let's do this thing. We're going global. That's possible. Some of the other things that I know that I've said here today kind of counter that, but I mean, okay, let's take some of those things that I just said. Maybe them cutting that from the Brawl Talk means just that they wanted it to be a surprise, right? They didn't want to, or maybe they weren't completely sure, and maybe they had second thoughts, and they wanted to do something different. It's a possibility. The metrics thing, not every game has to live up to the very best that you've put out. Clash of Clans and Clash Royale have just been massive successes, and not every game has to be that big, right? Brawl Stars is one heck of a game that I love better than either of those games, easily, but, not every game financially or pure metric wise has to live up to that number to be very successful in a game that you'll play for, you know, years and years and remember forever. It doesn't have to be that big. I still think that Brawl Stars, if it goes global, is going to be a massive success. As for the gaming freeze, they did say in one of the articles that if the game was pre-approved, then it could still be put out. So maybe the game's already been pre-approved and it's possible that it could be put out to the public. However, I don't know how that works. I know like in the App Store, like in the US, say, market, and this may be worldwide, I'm not sure, but every time that you put out a new build for a game, like every time you go to the App Store and update your game for a new update, it has to be approved before it ever puts on there. So if we're talking about that sort of approval again, then that's it. They can't just put out the game like it is now and then just hope and wait and pray that eventually China lifts that freeze, because it's like a whole governmental, some parts of kind of shady things happening. So I'm not really sure on that, but maybe perhaps you can get pre-approval and they'd be all good. I don't know. I don't know, but what I do know right now is that there's a lot of things that are pointing towards the negative, but you could probably make some optimistic things come from them as well. And that's what I'm choosing to. I'm hoping that that's the case. Like I said, I'm not going to lie to you. I've got a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. I just hope everything's going to be okay. But when it's all said and done, do I think that Brawl Stars is going global? And that's a big fat, I have no freaking clue. I don't even know. Honestly, if you would have asked me a month ago, I'd been like, yeah, dude, it's gonna happen. Feel so good about this. And then all this is going on and it just all up in turmoil. So the only thing I can say is stay tuned to this channel, subscribe to me, and anytime I get any information that I can share with you guys, and even kind of some stuff like today, which a little bit dicey, I will be sure to let you guys know, because I know you guys love this game just as much as I do, and those of you who are just curious about the game, thinking, when is it going global? And as soon as I find out that information, you better believe I'm going to be sharing it with you. So be sure to subscribe, turn on those notifications. You'll get every single bit of information. As soon as I can share it with you, I will. But that's gonna be it for today. If any new developments happen, anything crazy is going on, you better believe I will be back on here and letting you guys know about it. So that's gonna wrap it up for today. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. What does all this mean? What do you think is going to happen with Brawl Stars? Are we going global, or are they going to kill the game? I don't know, you guys let me know. But that's gonna wrap it up, and as always, until next time, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out. Wow, you must be really bored to still be watching this video. But I mean, you can always subscribe right up there above my logo for more content from me, and be sure to turn on those notifications, because that way I can annoy you at any time. Think of how cool that will be. Not a solid case, but you know, do it anyway. Why not?